Hi, St. Andrews. My name is Dana Leota, and I serve here with our Leadership Institute, where I get the honor of walking with our associates for the year. Now, I'm taking a break today and up here in Big Bear, where I'm enjoying some time with my husband and my dog. And I have to tell you a story. This just happened about an hour ago. So you can see right behind me this little snowy bank. My dog was having a great time off leash, running around, and I was standing up here on this balcony watching him. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of our eyes, we notice this larger looking dog, looks a little bit furrier, coming along the bank towards our little puppy. And we realized quickly this was not a dog, this is a coyote, and it was coming for our sweet little puppy who was just playing on the bank, had no idea that this coyote was coming for him. And so we called to the coyote, we started making noises, it looked up at us and ran away scared. And we realized that there was a pretty close call there, and our dog never noticed this coyote, and we start calling to him, trying to get his attention, to get him to come running towards us before he notices the coyote and tries to chase it or play with it. We're fully aware that this coyote could take down our dog in a second. So a pretty close call, and we were a little bit rattled after that. And I want to share with you, it's a little bit of a stretch, but it did make me think of the passage that we're looking at today for our morning moment as we're processing through this season of Lent. And the passage that we have today is from Mark 14, verses 22 through 25, and it's probably familiar to you, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. And as they were eating, he took bread and blessed and broke it, and gave it to them and said, "Take, this is my body." And he took the cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, and they drank all of it. And he said to them, "This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many. Truly I say to you, I shall not drink again of the fruit of the vine until that day, when I drink it new in the kingdom of God." Now, you've probably heard this passage shared right before we as a community take communion. We break the bread and we drink of the cup together. And we're processing through the season of Lent based off of this book called Reliving the Passion by Walter Wangerin. And he has some beautiful words to share on this passage. And what he really highlights is that Paul states that this is on the same night in which he was betrayed. He took bread. The situation that occurs on the same night in which he was betrayed. And what Wangerin highlights for us is that this moment right here is the positioning of the betrayal and the salvation happening in the same night, the joining of these two extremes. That's the opportunity that we have when we participate in the taking of communion, is the contemplation of these two extremes. And that this giving of salvation to us in the midst of this night of extreme betrayal, this giving has never ceased. It's something that continues today. Every time we take the Holy Communion, we're reminded of this moment and we receive that gift again. What is endured is the salvation in the midst of mystery that we are still wholly unaware of. I know for myself, every time I come to the table to partake of this communion, I'm reminded of how little I comprehend the significance of this moment. And I think back to my dog, who is wholly unaware of the danger that is approaching him on the bank. That if he could contemplate, he may never understand what was approaching him, but he might linger on the moment when he was called back into safety towards us. That reminds me of this relationship that we have with Christ and the gift that he has given us, this love that is so celestial, as Wangerin says, that it shall endure long and longer than we do. as we may never understand what approached us. In the breaking of the bread, we are gifted the eternal contemplation of that enduring grace which has saved us beyond our comprehension. As Wangren says, this is grace. So my hope for you today, St. Andrews, is that you may go aware of the gift of this grace and our ability to eternally contemplate it, though we may never understand it fully. Go in peace today.